So how would you approach a conversation with someone who doesn't think climate change is real? Because there are people in the community, even when you pretend, like, you give them the facts, they say, oh, that's all fake.
That's a great question, Sabrina, and I think this is a sign of where we've gotten to as a country, where no one trusts anything. You look at our measurements of trust in government, or unfortunately doctors, or the media, they're all at multi-decade lows. And so if you try and convey science and facts to someone, they'll be like, yeah, it's all some strange conspiracy and agenda. That's what we have to try and reverse together as a country. It's a very tall order, because when you lose trust, it's actually very hard to get it back. This is true in relationships, it's true in society, it's true in institutions. This may be a stretch to some of you, but I believe it's actually related to this mindset of scarcity that has now dominated our country. Mindset of scarcity is like, I'm not sure if I can pay next month's bills, there's not enough to go around, if you get it, I'm somehow losing, like you win, I lose. Like that's a mindset of scarcity. And studies have shown that if you can't pay your bills, it has the functional impact of decreasing your IQ by 13 points, or 1 standard deviation. So if you have the sneaking feeling that many Americans are getting less reasonable, less rational, less open to science and facts, less oriented toward the future, we almost certainly are becoming all of those things, because that is what you would expect if you were to introduce pervasive financial insecurity into a society. If people can't pay their bills systemically, they're likely to become less reasonable, less rational, et cetera, et cetera. So if we can reverse this mindset of scarcity, even partially, what's the opposite of a mindset of scarcity?
Abundance.
A mindset of abundance, that's right. That if you get it, great, I get it too. There's plenty to go around. The possibilities are endless. It's funny, when I say all these things, you're like, wow, that doesn't seem very familiar in America today. But it needs to become more familiar to us all. We're the richest, most advanced society in the history of the world. It does not feel like it to most of us because we're not seeing the gains in our communities. That's what we have to change. We have to make it so that we all feel like we're owners and participants in the richest and most advanced economy in the history of the world. And then if you get this boot of scarcity off of our throats, and then someone like Sabrina, who seems very reasonable, very smart, presents you a set of facts about climate change, instead of dismissing it as some kind of conspiracy theory, you actually say, oh, let me look at that. Like, I hadn't really thought about that. Let me actually look at these facts. When people have gotten this sort of economic support, their optimism has gone up, their trust in others has gone up, their kids have become more conscientious and agreeable. There are many incredible effects to getting this economic boot of scarcity off of our throats.